Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Joe. Welcome back to another episode of the Inside Our Phillies podcast. The Phillies have gotten swept by the Marlins of Miami in this three-game set, as this was a series that was kind of competitive, but in the worst way. They had a 1-0 loss in there, a Philly special. They came back 5-0, only to blow the lead. And then today they had a 6-0 lead that they blew, with Pete Fairbanks returning to his Rays form all across the way. Here to talk all about it, we have Jeremy, a Phillies fan. How are you today, man?
We suck.
And we also have Giles. How are you today, Giles?
Like Jesus.
I think that these reactions are great, and I think that we should just go jumping right into this. I think the number one discussion point that a lot of people are having is probably the manager of this team. Don Mattingly is continuing to make questionable decisions, most notably today. He chose to not go to Jonathan Bolin in the sixth inning or the seventh inning, instead hoping that they would be able to get out of it with Seth Johnson. Jeremy, I know you're a big Seth Johnson guy. What did you think of that decision making today?
No, I have long Pat. I am done with him. It is just insane. I don't understand why he loves him. It's always amazing when there's every manager at every team. There's one reliever who's crappy. The manager loves going to. I don't understand it. And it's Seth Johnson and Don Mattingly. And like, why did we send McFarland down? Ugh.
I mean, McFarland, to be honest with you, he didn't impress me all that much, right? Like his first pitch, Otani almost took him deep, and it was a ball hit very, very hard. But with that being said, I don't think Seth Johnson is really a major league reliever.
He can't be any worse, Like
It's also like, yeah, it's just like major league debut, whatever.
Devil you know and devil you don't know.
Yeah, Seth Johnson sucks.
Sure. Don Mattingly at this point, to me, right? I think I've been on the more pro Don Mattingly side for a while. That's starting to change for me. I'm starting to think that maybe the Phillies need to make like a second managerial change in season, even though that's a crazy idea. I think the way that he's like managing the bullpen, it's like it's actually horrific.
He doesn't know what he's doing. I'm sorry, I can't just like. Why do we still have designated innings roles in 2026? Because that is the only reason I can think of for not using Jonathan Bolin in that situation in the seventh inning versus the heart of the Marlins order with the bases loaded. And the game is on the line. It is, I'm sorry, it is an incredibly important game for the psyche of this team because I assume they still want to win, even though I think, frankly, it might be better at this point if they just accept that this team isn't going anywhere. But obviously, they want to keep winning. So if you want to keep winning, why the actual fuck are we putting Seth Johnson in against that spot of the Marlins order? And the only reason I can think is, who's going to pitch the eighth inning if we put Jonathan Bolin in here instead of Seth Johnson? We got to save Bolin for the eighth inning. And of course, Bolin comes in the eighth inning, and NBC Sports thought it was Kirkering, but comes in the eighth inning and gives up a bomb, right off the bat to Conine. By the way, Joe called that like 10 seconds before it happened. Conine's going to fuck them up here. It just just for some things. So we have the Dodgers game. I think it was the 22nd Nola pitched, where Nola went through the order twice, 5 innings, pretty effectively. Good Nola outing. And Nola's ERA going through the order a third time is like 6 or like 7.5 or something. I don't know what exactly it is. It is over 6. And Don Mattingly decided, well, this is a great time because, it backfired on me in Detroit when I took Nola out early. I'm going to leave him in, and Nola probably gives up another 3 or 4 runs.
I'm okay with them extending Nola yesterday. I have no problem with them doing that yesterday.
Oh, Nola did fine. I'm fine. I am fine with yesterday because he had guys up in the bullpen. He was ready to take him out if anything went south. That was not the case in the Dodgers game. And yes. I'm sorry, Mattingly is stuck managing the game like it is 10 years ago. That's what it feels like watching this stuff. Like designated innings for relievers. We have to, feel it out with the starters. No, look at the paper. The paper is right 90% of the time. if a guy can't do X because the numbers say it, then he can't do X, and you should not be trying to make him do it. This
In
has
my
been Don
opinion-
Mattingly as a manager forever. I was on this podcast before the season saying Mattingly was a shit manager, and God help this team if he ended up having to run this team over Rob Thompson. And I just want to add this. I legitimately hope that all the fans who wanted Thompson fired early in the season for Donnie baseball are happy with what they have right now, because it is significantly worse.
In my opinion, the high leverage.
I won't go that far.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Thompson needed to go. The team doesn't. The team had no fire under Thompson in tough situations, and this team just can't motivate itself. And yeah, I feel like the only way to get this team going again is to we need to wake them up again, and we need to fire another manager or fire the buddy Kevin Long. They have to lose toys for them to be inspired.
Well, you were talking to me about the Kevin Long thing the other day. Why don't you expand more on that?
Yeah, sure. Let me Let me get my rant out so I know what I was saying.
As you find that, I'm going to say with that high leverage situation, I would not have gone to Bolin. I think that's a Durant spot. It's ultra high leverage, game on the line. I don't care that it's the 7th inning.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Durant spot, in my opinion. But do you have it up, Jeremy?
I'm just going to add that I do wonder how much of this seeming restricting of Durant to the 9th is Dombrowski, and how much of it is Mattingly, because it seemed the same way under Thompson.
Yeah, I mean the roster, the bullpen shit, and so when you have a manager who's not great with pitching decisions, you're going to get shit like this. But yeah, so it all started with when we lost 1-0. It was a 6-time 11 games since the All-Star break. The Phillies scored 1 run or less, and they have scored 1 run or less in 26 games this year, most of MLB. The Phillies are 3-0 in the All-Star break, and it's just any normal team with those numbers would fire the hitting coach. Yeah, I don't care if it works or doesn't work. They would fire the hitting coach. 26 times scoring 1 run or less.
Jeremy, I don't think that you could put the best hitting coach that ever lived onto this team and fix these hitters. I think they're old and they just suck. They're old and they suck.
But you have to send the message to them that their buddy, you don't deserve to have your buddy coach you if it doesn't work.
I don't think you should run professional teams like that.
Yeah. I don't think it hurts to do it. So I'm kind of with you, Jeremy. I feel like there's been a lot of things where we feel like we're trying to put square pegs into round holes. You look at the lineup and there's a lot of hitters that have the exact same approach when they're up there. I don't know if you were getting there, Jeremy, so if I stole your thunder. But it feels like there's not really a difference when you have a lot of these hitters up, and I feel like we need to have more diversity in the lineup as far as people are going up there with different approaches.
Yeah, but it's it makes the best case you see is Derek Hill's Kevin Long was great for me. Yeah, because he's new, he's come in here, he's not here for a while. So these people who haven't worked with him, he's finding stuff. But apparently he's just been here too long and nothing is working.
I think that there's also an attitude problem on this team.
Yes.
I know we've talked about it with Bohm. Been that way for a long time with Bohm. I think that with Harper, he's probably the next guy that you look at. I know some people are you can never criticize Bryce Harper.
It's insufferable.
But Jeremy, you seemed like you had something to say on that. So what do you think?
Oh, it's just pretty hysterical, Harper acting we need help on offense when he's garbage right now, and obviously the feud with Harper and Dombrowski calling each other out in media is annoying. Obviously, media landscape is totally different, but Rollins never would have called out Gillick.
Can I just say
that?
Just on this thing, I am so sick of the Bryce Harper armchair GM bullshit that he has been doing here since I feel 2021, when he was well, we definitely need an arm at the deadline. We need this at the deadline. We need this at the deadline. You're not the GM. I don't care about the name on your jersey and how much you are being paid. You are not the GM. Shut up and play the game, and let the GM do the GMing. And I get it. If you do not like Dave Dombrowski, I certainly disagree with a lot of what he's done in the past couple seasons. Obviously, you guys do as well. You don't tell the general manager as a player how to do his job. I think Bryce Harper would genuinely be an awful general manager with some of the things he has suggested over the years that the Phillies should do. Just like,
Yeah.
I'm
Well, the
so
best
sick of
case,
him.
the best comparison is Michael Jordan complained all the time about wanting certain players on the Bulls and they wouldn't get them for him. And then eventually, when he became the owner and GM of Charlotte, he was terrible.
Mhm.
Yeah. So guys think they
Like
just because
LeBron demanding
they're
all
good
his
at
buddies in Cleveland, and then the Cleveland
yeah yeah
Cavaliers falling apart.
I know, but the difference is like Jordan and LeBron basketball is it's very easy to carry the team as one player.
Yep.
Baseball's different
But
sport.
yeah,
And I just
yeah, exactly. So that kind of attitude could kind of work in the NBA because as long as you have a superstar or the top or a top two player all time. But
I just
yeah,
want to say that
it doesn't work in MLB.
I don't think any amount of, and we had a really, I think it was mostly respectful in the Matt Gelb's Phillies therapy channel here on Discord. There was a heated debate after the game, and I made an analogy about, because in the latest episode they sort of said, and I like them. I just want to say that I'm not insulting them for this, even if it sounds like I'm angry. I'm just annoyed with this team right now. Was that, well, they're not going to add big things, I don't think, at the deadline, but like they still got to add little things, and it's like that doesn't move the needle. Jake McCarthy is not moving the needle for this baseball team. Like, I made the analogy after the game, would I like the broken window on my car fixed? Absolutely. Is that going to make the car run when the engine is in pieces inside the car? No. Like,
Well,
this team is critically flawed. Nothing short of a 21 Braves deadline is fixing this roster, and it might take more than that.
there's
They
a
don't
couple
have the assets.
there's a couple things we need to go over here. Number one, let's take it back to the whole Harper of it all, because an article came out a couple hours ago kind of talking about the relationship between Dave Dombrowski and really the front office and Bryce Harper. Some key points, as were pointed out by the great dude Bino on Reddit, so credit to him. But the front office did not like the comments that Bryce Harper made about how they need more. As we know, obviously Don Mattingly said something about that today before the game. Still very weird to me that the GM is the manager's dad. I don't love that, but
It's really icky.
it is what it is. Quote, the reality is that Harper and Dombrowski have not repaired their relationship. That might not matter except for brief, uncomfortable moments like this. It goes on to say that the Phillies are expected to extend Dave Dombrowski at some point in the near future, while perhaps publicly disclosing a succession plan, and that neither Harper nor Dombrowski, two powerful men with huge egos, particularly cares for the other. It's a mess right now.
I think Dave loses that power struggle, just to be honest. I think Dave has lost that power struggle already. The fans already hate him. Like, I think most of the fan base hates him.
I mean, if they trade Harper, the fan base is going to revolt. So,
oh yeah, like Middleton.
Well,
it'll be the French Revolution.
Why would you side with Dombrowski in any of the situation? He hasn't done.
I also think because I don't like Harper either. I genuinely, like, as a player, I like Bryce Harper. Okay, obviously. As a person off the field and like a dude who like talks about the team and stuff, I cannot stand him. I cannot stand Bryce Harper anymore. He is obnoxious to me. Like the gambling thing, all these like, weird medical things off the field. It's just distraction, over and over and over. And it is not,
wait,
of course,
sorry.
it is not Antonio Brown bad from the Steelers. It reminds me of it though. Just shut up and play baseball.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Okay. Not even close to Tony. Not even close. To
I said not
Brown.
close. I said not close. I said that.
No, but that should the fact that you went there. You need to calm down.
He's a diva.
Yeah,
His ego is so fragile.
It is. And and that's why you should have, like, as an adult, you realize, like, okay, yeah, why was I ever looking up to athletes? They're idiots that hit balls with sticks.
Yeah. I never looked up to Harper.
I'm a little bit of a double hater. Hater's too strong of a word, but I think both are in the wrong. I mean, I think people who listen to this podcast know how much I think Dave Dombrowski has done a terrible job as the president of baseball operations for the team. I think he has essentially killed this organization in the medium term, while not doing enough in the short term to make the team truly competitive with the top brass of the major leagues. And Harper, I mean, I think diva is a good word for it. He has done questionable things that we've also covered on this podcast before. He gets a lot of attention, not always a great way, and I can think that he's probably not somebody that I would want in the clubhouse. On the field, yes, I want Bryce Harper on the field, but as a teammate, like I feel like Bryce Harper would be a very annoying teammate.
I just, I what I think annoys me the most is I know they're going to do the wrong thing and they're going to buy at the deadline. And what not only that, but the things I hear is like, oh, they're looking into Tarek Skubal. They're looking into
They're
starting
not
pitching.
getting a scoop. They're
Oh,
not
of
getting
course, no shit.
Skubal.
They're not getting Skubal. Like, obviously, right? We don't have the assets to even trade for Skubal, hypothetically.
Yeah,
The Dodgers are going to get him.
We do have the assets to trade for Skubal, but it would cost every thing we have, so it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Painter plus Miller plus Abel probably gets you there.
Renteria. Yeah.
No, Renteria alone would get the trade done.
For
And just-
Skubal? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think because the Dodgers are going to literally offer just everything because fuck you, we're the Dodgers. Like, I am so. I just want to say this inside. I am so sick of the Dodgers, and I hope the next CBA rips their fucking heart out as an organization. Like, cut the salary cap down to like $300 million a year and just gut them. I am so sick of this team.
Salary, the Mets payroll proves it's not just the salary. It's they have the world-class organization structure.
You know what their salary means they can do is they can sign whoever they want in the offseason. They don't have to trade their prospects at all. As long as they just sign people.
Prospects
they don't have to, though. They don't have to. That's why they have so many constantly.
But
they do, but they don't have to at the rate we do. We cannot spend as much as them. Nobody can. It is bullshit.
They have traded more top prospects in the past 3 years than the Phillies have.
They just developed them in a way that the Phillies don't.
Yeah, their development is way better.
Right.
This team is not going anywhere. I'm tired of humoring the idea that, oh, well, anything can happen in the playoffs. There is not a meaningful enough % chance of this team going deep into the playoffs to even warrant me taking that seriously anymore. And I am sorry if that offends anybody or hurts anybody's feelings. I do not take that conversation seriously right now. This is not a playoff team. This is not a good team. This is not the best of a bad team. This is a very bad baseball team. And I think this team is closer to what they showed in April than what they showed in May and June. I've said that last pod. I think I'm saying it again now.
Jeremy, where are you at on that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't want to buy anything. I don't think there's anything impact available. It's a seller's market. It's mostly come down. There's nothing that I want to trade any of the top prospects. There is literally nothing I want to trade Gage Wood for. There is nothing.
Mm-hmm. And my point,
this team is too flawed. Yeah.
My thing is
I
that
would just hold.
If there is not a season in 2027, which a lot of owners are saying is a possibility, then these guys are all going to be 34 going on 35 when they play next. And you think the team's bad now? Oh, well, just wait till you see the Phillies in 2028. And it is going to be a nightmare. And I think, frankly, they should listen to offers for Joan Duran. There. Well, silence is deafening.
No, it's just if that's an off-season move if they're going to do it. You don't do that in the middle of the year when you're over 500. That would destroy everything. The fan base and the team would.
I don't care about the fan base, frankly, and that's why I'm not a GM. But I get that you have to make those considerations. I could not give a fuck about this Philly fan base.
I'm a little split. Do I think again, we'll get into this a lot in the trade deadline episode we have coming up, but a lot of people are talking about it right now, so we should talk about it too. Do I think they should buy? No. If you want to sell guys that are in your 20th or 27th ranked prospects, fine, right? The 20th ranked Phillies prospect is probably not a top 30 prospect in most organizations anyway. But anybody of actual value, I don't think this team is worth it.
That's just idiotic. And the whole they have to buy because that they have to buy. Why? Why do they have to? Why do you have to make the wrong decision, which is what buying is? It is with top prospects. It is objectively the wrong decision with this team. This is not a good team. This is not something where a couple trades are going to meaningfully change what this team is. I've said it all podcast offs. It's just my best hope for them is that they don't buy. Of course, have no expectation that they actually sell anything because they don't have the balls to actually do that. But yeah, I just hope they don't buy, basically, realistically.
I mean, I don't think there's any chance that they're actually going to be selling.
They should.
Like, I think you can make an argument they should, and I would understand that. Like, I think, especially with there being potentially a lockout going into next year, you're probably not going to be able to do all that much trading in the off season if you are trying to retool. But I don't know, Jeremy, what are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, there is nothing. There's no one available. I mean, if they were to trade for, what's his face in the Orioles, like he wouldn't cost much. I mean, you could also get Jeff Hoffman for cheap at this point.
Bring back Hoff Daddy.
So,
Woo!
Yeah, no, you could probably get him for cheap. So there's a couple Taylor Ward. There we go. So yeah, I mean, I would low cost moves that wouldn't cost much. If we could do something, I would trade for Taylor Ward and Jeff Hoffman, and that would be it.
And I just want to say, because people are like, well, they're in a playoff spot right now. I'm just gonna look at the teams that are below them in the wild card right now. Right now, because right now they're in the third wild card spot. It is the Padres, the Pirates, the Marlins, and the Nationals are all below them. And I'm just gonna make a hot take. I think all three of those teams are better than the Phillies. I legitimately think all three right now, most certainly. All the three of those teams are better than the Phillies. The Pirates have one of the best offenses in baseball, and so do the Nationals. If either of those teams get their pitching remotely together, they are going to pass us. And I don't think the Phillies have what it takes to catch back up, especially with one of the hardest remaining schedules in baseball.
They're in a tough spot. I don't think there's any getting around that. I think that they are in a very tough spot, and they have to think deeply about what they want their future to be. I like how we've gotten 23 minutes in, and we've hardly talked about like the players in this series, but I think that's okay because, I mean, what is there to say? I mean, let's ask this: what was the most painful loss of the three losses in this series?
This one, in my opinion, this was 6-0 lead. The first game, you fell behind really early. It was kind of a miraculous comeback that they went ahead. The second one was just sort of one of those classic whatever 1-0 shutouts. Like, of course, we get shut out 1-0 by the freaking Marlins in Miami. This one you go up 6-0. And I'm just going to pull up our DMs during the game here real quick, if you don't mind. And I think at one point when they were up 6-0, Joe sent me things of, well, at least they're not getting swept. And within about an hour, oh, good, Seth Johnson's getting up. And the game's over. So just it went on its head so quickly today. And it just, I think the moment that they hit that home run and it became 6-3, I had a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. Like, oh, you got to be shitting me. It was like when, the Phillies would be up 6 runs in 2020 and, Andy McSuckface comes in and gives up 4 run, gives up the grand slam. You're like, oh, good Christ, here we go again. That's what it felt like today. It felt like watching a 2020 game in Miami.
It does feel like the old Marlins are back again.
Well, yeah, but they lost 12 in a row and then we got swept. It's pathetic. I mean, the loss to me is always giving up the walk-off loss when we came back. That's always more brutal. It gives momentum to the rest of the series. And the reason they came back was Duran gave up expected batting average 200 for a couple of those hits.
Yep.
Turner and Harper suck at defense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Anything positive that anybody wants?
Trey Turner keeps hitting. That's JT's still hitting. Stott's kind of doing well, I guess.
Stott's not kind of. Stott's on fire.
Stott's on fire. Yeah, okay. Stott's on fire. Even I'm not that much of a pessimist. Stott's on fire right now.
Yeah, Stott's OPS is 717 now.
I don't know what else to say really. Nola was fantastic in game 2. He has quietly been actually pretty good, damn good his last 4 starts. That's not shown because Mattingly left him out to die in a couple of those starts for a third time through the order. And, we have our disagreements about Mattingly leaving him out there and such, but the data says that he should have come out. But whatever. Nola has been better, I think, his last few starts. But that's really it. This is one of the worst series I've seen for them in a while. And in terms of like ripping my soul out, in terms of my faith for fully ripping out my faith for this team, it felt like that it legitimately felt like that 7-game series versus the Marlins in 2020, or that 5-game series versus the Marlins in 2020, where Rhys Hoskins got hurt and they lost all those games, and the Marlins leapfrogged them into the playoff spot. That's what it felt like.
Some fun stats. The Phillies have the least batting WAR in the entire league this year.
Yep.
We're sitting here pretty much at the end of July. They only have one more game left in the month. They have one hitter that's worth 2 or more baseball reference WAR, which is great. You want to guess?
Schwarber?
Schwarber. So, does anybody want to guess at who has the 3rd highest WAR for position players on this team?
Stott.
Did you say Stott, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Stott is 6th.
Okay, so let me think here. So the good guy, because Baseball Reference WAR doesn't care as much about defense generally, I don't think.
Okay. Obviously, it's Derek Hill.
It is Derek Hill.
No, my fucking god. Oh.
Derek Hill has been worth 1.5 WAR as a Philly, which is good for 3rd place on this list.
Jesus. Christ almighty.
And there are 4 players on the position side that are worth more than 1 WAR this season. Schwarber, Harper, Hill, and Marsh. Everybody else is below 1 WAR. Your league average is, a 2 WAR season for an average starter. At this point, the Phillies only really have 3 or 4 guys on pace for that, which is not great.
Okay. Thought experiment, guys. I kind of proposed this in the Discord. I got tons of shit for it. Which set of position players are you taking? This year's Phillies or 2018?
2018, probably, right?
I want to hear Jeremy's answer.
Yeah, but prime Rhys Hoskins.
I know Rhys Hoskins. That's the big seller. Cesar was pretty good that year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might take 2018. Like it is disturbingly close.
Oh yeah, they're. Yeah, I mean, like only person over 30 in the starting lineup was Carlos Santana, so young and yeah.
Just like, and that wasn't a great team either. That was a wildly overachieving baseball team for a lot of the season.
Right.
And I think this team was as well. And people kind of got blinded because they had a cookie cutter schedule in especially May. I was even saying in April when they were 9-19 that they could easily claw their way out of it and make a run in May because of how terrible that schedule was. And the luck's run out. You cannot win 80% of 1-run games. I don't care who your closer is. I don't care about your starting 3. You do not win 80% of 1-run games. You can get up to 60 or 65%. You will never win 80%. And this is just natural regression right now in my mind.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, as the great Trent Dilfer said, you cannot lose games and still win.
Yep.
This is a good point.
I do think, though, how you win matters. And, there are sustainable ways to win, and there are not sustainable ways to win. Obviously, you'll take a win however you can get it. But, sustainable winning is a lot better than relying on lucky bullshit.
What does everybody think that the playoff odds are for the Phillies? Don't take whatever it says on a website, which we'll get into that soon. But just your gut, your read of the team. How likely is it that you think that this team is going to make the postseason?
I think they're still going to make it. Then with it, no doubt.
Give us a percent.
That's 60%.
Okay.
I think it's 45. The September schedule really worries me for this team.
I think mathematically, it's probably around 55%, 60%. But then, I look at my eyes and what they're telling me.
Coin flip, basically.
And I don't think they have it
I
in
don't
them.
see it. I don't see it. I think they are old. I think they are getting worn down. I think they're old and slow. It's what the Broncos said about the Steelers in 2011 when they whooped their asses in Denver. They're old and slow. Their time is over. This core, the age is coming to an end, and it was really, really fun. I will love all these players for all of eternity. You
You're gonna
cannot
love
even
Alec Boehm for all of eternity.
less so Alec Boehm, but I will not hate Alec Boehm.
Okay.
I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember the good stuff. With him, I do not hate Alec Boehm like I hate Nick Castellanos. I more blame the organization for not finding a replacement for Alec Boehm than I blame Alec Boehm. I don't think Alec Boehm ever didn't give a fuck. Like Castellanos, I think did it sometimes.
Boehm cares
Uh,
too much. But
yeah,
to get
yeah.
into the playoff odds for what the different websites are saying, Baseball Reference, which has not
Baseball Reference is
counted.
that's the one thing they're like they don't even baseball. These kind of stats are so like percentages are so stupid. I'm glad Baseball Reference puts no effort into this.
Right. Baseball Reference says the Phillies have a 46.8% chance to make the postseason. If you go into like their methodology, like that white page, it really takes a look at like the last sample of games that the team has played, 100 games, and then it looks at like the statistics of those games and tries to like make assumptions about like how good the team is. Um, is it great? I don't think it's great until like the very end of the season. But
By
you
the
know
way,
what?
for it is wildly different. Fangraphs has them at basically 70% to make the
Right.
playoffs, and I think that is wildly overstating their chances.
Yeah, Fangraphs has them
But
at 69.5, and Kalshi has them at a 69% chance.
I will say that only a week ago, those odds on Fangraphs were 84%. So they have, of course, they've lost a ton of games. So of course they've tanked, but it is precipitously dropping. They are at expected wins. If you round it up, expected wins is 86 for projected wins for them.
Yeah. Jeremy, do you remember how much hate we got for being negative before the season started about the different parts of this team?
I mean, anyone with eyes just we got hate last year when it was like, oh god, they're gonna do the same thing. Get the when you run it back all the same every freaking time, it's impossible to ignore. Be like, oh god, they're gonna do it again. If they made any changes to the lineup, be like, okay, they all can't hit, not hit again. They're different players.
I'll admit, you guys are right. They should have retooled this year.
I mean, they really didn't. The only thing they really did was re-sign Schwarber.
Oh, I know,
So
but like
they
Joe
still
was,
so this it all they still can just gotta get rid of Bohm, move Turner to the outfield, and then you get a new left side of the infield.
I'll say
You
this.
convince JT to be an expensive backup, and then
I'll say
boom.
this. You guys obviously I think did want this, but a lot of the fans who wanted this team to actually change things didn't want the team to actually change things. Um, you can see this with the fan reaction to an objectively correct move in letting Ranger Suarez walk, where that's a mix up of the
Oh
roster.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
you didn't
What
like
the
it,
hell are we
and
doing?
it
Yeah.
was
What the hell are we
hysterics. It
doing
was
with Ranger on this
hysterics. It's
team?
like, we can't let Ranger Suarez go. Oh my God, fire Dave Dombrowski. Fire. No, we can't let Kyle Schwarber go. We got to get Kyle Schwarber back. Oh my God. No, we can't let JT go. We got to get JT back. You want change, but then the moment you learn what you're going to have to do to create that change, no, 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 no. We can't do that. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. We can't let any of our guys go. I love them too much. Billy Bean, from Moneyball, you can't get emotionally attached to players, or you become incredibly irrational about the moves you should and should not make with your team.
Nah. I'm not the GM. I could get emotionally attached all I
Oh
want,
yeah, well
react to the
just
trades, and get over it 2 days later.
I'm just saying emotions make you not think about things rationally, especially with like sports.
Yeah. Yeah. Does anybody have any closing points, any takeaways that they have about this series or the state of the team right now?
Boy, do I hate being right all the time. That's what I said to Joe when Duran came in and blew the save.
Yeah.
This team's not good.
All right, but yeah, another thing I'm being right about is Bolin coming in and always going through on a guy finally backfired.
Yeah.
It's
Good point.
insane. He can't come out and throw strikes. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, you're spot on.
They're fucked. They're fucked. I really don't have any hope for the rest of the season. So everything else is house money.
And then go on a 10-game win streak. It'll be
And
all
false
fine.
hope. We gotta buy. Get everybody. Sell the whole farm. They've totally turned it around, like they did in 2021 when they went on a hot streak before the deadline. That they're actually good now.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, last year was the worst. Was Kepler got hot right before the deadline and decided not to make another move.
I have no optimism for this roster, and if anybody else does, good for you. But I think you should be very wary of looking down on people who don't.
Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you both for joining. This was great.
Great times. Really uplifting.
And thank you everybody for listening as well. I know we have a couple questions coming in the podcast channel on Discord.
Ooh-wee.
But we'll get into that more for the trade deadline episode. A little bit more.
Well, I will just mention PCCJ #FC. A little fun tidbit. Alec Boehm passed Utley in base loaded hit by pitches.
There you go. Cool.
History.
With that positive note, we'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.
Bye.